Hello and welcome to this episode of FrogClan. We are kicking back off, just continuing things as they were. We are on the tail end of Moon 8 and we're going into Moon 9. I did just want to have a quick aside here. A lot of our cats are in worse shape for wear. But also, I did this challenge just for fun on the side. And we really need to get more cats in here ASAP. Because it takes time for the numbers to start building up and for cats to start having kids. And we don't have the most time ever to be doing everything. So we're just gonna pop in here real quick and see who all is compatible. Brookfruit and Wisteria Berry seem to have quite a lot of platonic like together. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna see who's compatible here. These two aren't really compatible. It's neutral anyway, but I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna try that. And let's see. Lotus Shade and Jumpstar actually have the most compatibility between the three she-cats that are all crushing on one another. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and try these two together. And we're gonna be sending a lot of cats onto 2 people only patrols to try and help build up their relationships. And we're gonna go on a lot of border patrols just to help try and bring in cats naturally through kitty pets. And we're just gonna go ahead and time skip then. So bad news this moon. Brookfruit fought a rogue and got hurt. Saltapple's wound is no longer infected, but Lightseeker has died from water in her lungs. Drizzle Shade wails when they see the body of Lightseeker still and cold in the clearing. They sit vigil that night as grief fills their heart. Drizzle Shade makes it a point to remove scraps of foliage from Lightseeker's nest, snapping at any hindrance. Their paws tremble as they clutch the material, distraught when they realize just how fast Lightseeker's scent was fading. Drizzle Shade, no. The past moon, Lightseeker has taken their place in StarClan. FrogClan mourns her loss, and their clanmates will miss the spot they took up in their lives. Moments of their life are shared in stories around the circle of mourners as those that were closest to them take them to their final resting place. Oh man. I am really sad by that. Let's see how Lightseeker, our first member of StarClan, is doing. So Lightseeker died at 81 moons old and is surprised to find herself waking in StarClan. She was proficient with 209 experience, and our clan shrinks. Jumpstar is dreading the clan meeting they must call later today. The clan meeting is possibly just to go over the loss of Lightseeker and what that means for their very small clan against what's to come. Drizzle Shade is grieving. She can't work at this time. She's just too distraught by the loss of her friend. She's the only one that had strong enough feelings for Lightseeker to properly mourn her. Whenever a bar goes from like this neutral color to the green or down to the red, depending on if it's a negative trait, that's really the only time that cats are going to have that little bit of flavor text. But every time it does, when a cat dies, it's so sad. So Thrushstripe is refusing to follow the deputy's recent orders due to their own morals, and Drizzle Shade wants to get to know Thrushstripe better. So I'm wondering if Drizzle Shade is making some bad calls due to her grief and Thrushstripe is refusing, And then Drizzleshade consequently wants to understand what Thrushride's motives are for refusing to follow her orders. Soft Apple is still injured from a beak bite from an eagle. He's going on 4 moons now with that, but it's no longer infected, so hopefully he'll be back on his paws soon. Brookfruit got injured defending the clan. He has a cat bite, so he's resting from that. Wisteria Berry wants to change her name to be like a kitty pet. Maybe since Wisteria Berry was a kitty pet before, he's kind of missing his life. These are all the cats that can work, it's so few. The patrol hears the screaming of a cat begging for their 2 legs to come back and the sound of a monster speeding away. They discover the cooling body of a kitty pet. It seems they attempted to run after their 2 legs and were run over by a monster. Driftburn silently sends a prayer for the kitty pet and can't help but to curse the 2 legs to abandon such a loyal cat. Once again, we will never know if they would make a good addition to FrogClan. Okay. So Brookfruit has chosen to use their skills and experience to help solve the clan's disagreements. A meeting is called and they become the clan's newest mediator. And Soft Apple's beak bite has finally healed. Honestly, a lot of our cats seem to be getting along pretty well, except for Wisteria Berry, who got Soft Apple complaining about them behind their back. We'll say Soft Apple is feeling better, and Brookfruit, who's now up here, is our mediator. So Brookfruit is not feeling very well. Maybe that fight made him realize that his duties are best served elsewhere for the clan. But basically how it works is you can set a cat here and a cat here. You can see their current standings and then you can either mediate them, which has a chance to increase everything, or you can sabotage them, which could worsen their relationships. If you have allow romantic, then it'll increase romantic like if it's possible, or has a more of a chance to anyway. So while not the best thing ever, since we need more warriors to patrol, having a mediator is going to really help us out when it comes to increasing people's relationships. And look at how small our clan is. Wisteria Berry is wondering how Drizzleshade is doing. He's probably just worried about how she's holding up with her grief. She's still not able to work right now. Okay, so we have 4 warriors. I'm going to set them out in 2 sets of 2 since, again, everybody's mates are unavailable. We find BogClan renewing their marks. And we have a friendly conversation with them. And relationships have improved. Okay, so Brookfruit's cat bite has healed so well that you can't even tell it happened. Unfortunately, Soft Apple has gotten green cough, so we really need our medicine cat here to pull through. And Drizzleshade announces that she is expecting kits, and she decides to move into the nursery now to prepare, which is amazing. So we'll be hopefully able to roll for some new kittens soon. Jumpstart comes up with a plan to sneak out of Camp Driftburn. What are they up to? Maybe planning a surprise for the deputy? Maybe. Okay, so Brookfruit is now feeling better, so we can go ahead and mediate some cats. We could mediate these 2 to increase their feelings for one another, but since Drizzleshade is already expecting kids, I'd rather focus on a couple that doesn't yet. So we're going to go ahead and mediate. So trust increase, respect increase, platonic like increase, and dislike decrease. So now both of these cats have a strong feeling for one another, and everything's gradually going up and we don't have any negative feelings. So Brookfruit can only mediate 1 pair a moon, and we'll leave them there at that time then. Okay, we're moving into our first year as FrogClan. Okay, so nothing too exciting as we move into spring. Drizzleshade thinks that they'll have a large litter. We really hope so. Brookfruit travels to OggClan to resolve some recent hunting disputes. Brookfruit's vengeful nature is starting to come through. He hopes to break up a sickeningly lovey-dovey couple. Well, since that's his status, these guys are the only ones expecting kids. Romantic interest decrease, trust decrease, platonic like decrease, comfort decrease, respect decrease, jealousy increase, trust. Why did our mediator have to be vengeful? It's not helpful for our goal here. Lightseeker is still in StarClan, hoping to give a life to new leader. Claw is still out there, exploring. Jumpstar and Lotus Shade are out gathering herbs again. Jumpstar is concerned about the legacy they'd leave behind if StarClan were to call them. Lotus Shade and Jumpstar discuss this, and ultimately come to terms with going to StarClan eventually. But Jumpstar's legacy would shine brighter than any star. Comforted, Jumpstar thanks Lotus Shade and helps bring back the herbs. And their relationship is doing pretty well. Still, we notice OddClan renewing scent marks. And we devolve into friendly conversation, feeling confident in our relationships with one another. Even with Driftburn by their side, Drizzle Shade doesn't feel ready to be a parent of this litter of two kits. They promise to the tiny flailing limbs by their side that they'll do their best. They swear on StarClan itself. Drizzle Shade also wakes one day after moons of numbness and feels as though the world is less dull. So, hopefully by bringing in this new life to the world, Drizzle Shade is feeling better and can come to terms with the loss of her friend and clanmate. Soft Apple no longer has green cough, but has acquired a running nose. And then we'll just give here a quick scroll. And I think I see some spoilers for our kits here. So we have Temple Kit, a female with a smoke-colored pelt. She seems to be pretty gray in nature, and she is bullying. And then we have Carnation Kit, who snuggles up to the belly of Drizzle Shade. He is male with a marble pelt and is inquisitive. So effectively, the way that the mutations work is that all cats will have a chance to randomly mutate one of these traits. Otherwise, it's basically 50-50 if they inherit their parents. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead. I will roll for Temple Kit first, and we are going to come back and see what they're looking like here momentarily. Okay, so we're rolling a d10 to decide if they gain a random mutation. Okay, so I just rolled for both the kits to see if they develop a random mutation. They do not. And then we're going for 50-50 on the other two. Since, well, 3, I suppose. Huge paws, tactile vision, and tailless. Okay. Okay, so evens, they get the adaptable eyes. Odds, they do not. Does not. Evens, they get the tailless. Odds, they do not. They do not. Evens, pause. Evens, pause. Nice. Okay. Okay, so I just finished rolling for them. Neither kit developed a spontaneous mutation, which is fine. It's only a 10% chance to. Temple Kit ended up with neither of her father's traits, which is good for the tailless role, but she does have her mother's huge paws. And Carnation Kit here actually got the best possible outcome, getting the adaptable vision for his eyes, missing on the tailless trait, and getting huge paws. Basically, when I roll the 50-50, I just do evens they get it, odds they don't, and that's just what it turned out to be. And this actually works really well with our current running theme that the adaptable vision rolls with emerald eyes, because Temple Kit did not get it, and Carnation Kit did, and he has emerald eyes. So Carnation Kit was basically the best possible outcome we could have gotten from that pairing. And Temple Kit is pretty neutral. It's totally possible for cats that don't have overlapping traits, like say a cat with the aquatic tail and the cat with the prehensile tail will always have a kit that will have some trait, but it's always possible for a kit to just roll to be perfectly normal if it's 50-50 either way. So, not bad at all. Jetsar is feeling happy, probably with the new additions to the clan. We're finally starting to build up some numbers. Drizzleshade is feeling a little ambitious and is wondering what it'd be like to be a leader with 9 lives. Lotus Shade is feeling a sense of dread, so she doesn't see these kits as a good omen that everybody else is. We'll go ahead and while I'm on Brookfruit, we'll mediate some people. Since he just had a nightmare about a nearby river, we're gonna go ahead and try and make up for the damage that we did, since he doesn't want to be particularly vengeful this moon. And luckily we increased back to about the same spot we were before with these two. Thrush Stripe is 127 moons, and he is still working as a warrior. He plans to visit the medicine cat. I'm wondering if his age is just starting to catch up to him, and he's starting to slow down a bit here. Our relationships with Raccoon Clan worsen after we're unable to carry a solid conversation with this. Also, I forgot to mention, since we are officially into Moon 13, everybody's patrol passes get reset, so if we need to skip out on a patrol for any reason, everyone's got a chance to again. And this is a perfect time for this because I'm not really messing with a very ominous storm when our medicine cat had some ominous feelings about this month. So, Soft Apple's patrol leader, he has 1 trait. He gets his 1 pass and it is gone. We're not proceeding. We head back early. Okay, Lotus Shade receives a present, Moth Wings, from Drizzleshade. Decides to keep it with them on their pelt. Soft Apple's running nose is finally gone, and we need to replace our plantain. Drizzleshade has drawn the Ire Temple kit by deliberately taking the last of their favorite nesting materials for themselves. Mom just denied her own kit a good moss patch. This just does not seem to be Temple Kit's moon. And here they are a little bit more grown up. Temple Kit knocks over Wisteria Berry. I don't know how 1 moon old kit manages to do that, but Carnation Kit is wondering if StarClan has given Lotus Shade any prophecies lately. Ooh. So maybe Carnation Kit is actually keeping his eye on possibly being a medicine cat like Lotus Shade. And here's Lotus Shade herself with that cute little pair of Moth Wings. Brookfruit had a bad recent negotiation with their rival clan, but that's okay, he can still do stuff for us. We'll go ahead and increase these guys' feelings for one another a little bit. Lightseeker knows what Brookfruit's secret is and wants to tell some cat. I wonder if that has to do with his motivation to becoming a mediator in the first place. Oh man. Okay, so we're back with the same prompt here. There are dark clouds on the horizon and Soft Apples wonders if they should continue. Soft Apple's patrol leader and we are already passed on this prompt, so we have to proceed. Oh no. There is a downpour and a sudden flood from the overflowing river sweeps all the cats and the patrol away. Some manage to ride the waves, paddling for their lives, but many are lost forever. Thrush Stripe has died in the flood. Thrush Stripe was pretty old for a warrior. He is 128 moons old. And he probably was just getting too weak to really survive the flood, even with his aquatic tail. Soft Apple, who has a muscular body, was probably just a little bit stronger alongside his youth to actually ride out that wave, but he's probably going to carry that grief with him for a while. Okay, so Brookfruit didn't look where they were going and tripped over a small trunk, gaining a few bruises. Tumblecit played fought a bit too hard and got a bit bruised. Soft Apple brought a single kitten back to camp but refused to talk about their origin. And then we're mourning for Thrushstrike. Driftburn wails when they see the body of Thrushstrike still and cold in the clearing. They sit vigil that night as grief fills their heart. Driftburn is eager to get up and busy themselves the next day, refusing to sit still for even a moment lest their thoughts begin to linger on Thrushstrike's death. This past moon, Thrushstripe has taken their place in StarClan. FrogClan mourns their loss, and their clanmates will miss the spot that took up in their lives. Moments of their life are shared in stories around the circle of mourners as those that were closest to them take them to their final resting place. We're having a really rough time with some of these events here. I'm just glad that it wasn't Soft Apple too. And here's our newest addition, Seabass Kit, who is a little female with a Sokoki pelt. She is half clan. Seabass Kit was born in another clan but chose to come to this clan to be with their other parent. Seabass is so we can't see Soft Apple's mate, and therefore Seabass Kit's parent. As far as we know, Seabass Kit popped out of the ether. But what most likely happened was Soft Apple's mate was from another clan, and then they gave birth to the kit, but with this strange genetics and everything happening, they probably just didn't feel comfortable taking care of Seabass Kit. So I'm just gonna roll to see if the parent had any hidden traits as if they were a new kitty pet coming into the clan, and more than likely they'll just be normal. But we'll do that and then we'll roll to see if Seabass Kit has any mutations. Okay, so Seabass Kit's mother was a normal cat. So Seabass Kit is only going to have a chance to randomly mutate things or possibly inherit her father's muscular body. So Seabass Kit rolls poorly and she is just a perfectly normal cat. So she has no mutations at all, but she's still a welcome member to the clan. Wow, look at these two's relationships with one another. Jumpstar has so many positive feelings for Lotus Shade, and a lot of that is returned. We'll still mediate them, and comfort romantic interests increase a little bit. So moving into Greenleaf here, Brookfruit travels to FrogClan to resolve some recent personal disputes. Brookfruit's bruises have disappeared, Tumblecit is no longer bruised, and Seabass Kit has gotten heat exhaustion, probably due to her dark pelt. We also have good news. Wisteria Berry announced that they are expecting kits. They won't be moving into the nursery just yet. So since Brookfruit and Wisteria Berry are both male, we'll be rolling as if Wisteria Berry found a surrogate cat outside of the clan to have kits with. And we'll just be treating it that way. I'll be going down through here real quick. These seem to be doing okay. Aw, Seabass Kit. It's not feeling very well. So Brookfruit is just sitting back and watching an argument take place, so we'll go ahead and sabotage somebody. Since these guys already have a little bit of dislike for one another, we'll sabotage these two. Mysterberry has been distracted during recent clan meetings, probably just with the addition to the clan. Okay, so Driftburn finds a kitty pet who is interested in joining the clan. I sent Driftburn out alone because we just didn't have enough patrols going out to really bring in newcomers. We banter with the cat a bit, making them feel more welcome. Please. Driftburn does not seem to have to do much convincing. The kitty pet seems happy to join the clan. Shorefleck has joined the clan, and our reputation with outsiders has improved. Let's see Shorefleck. Ooh. Shorefleck is very interesting. Kind of a pale yellow-gray. Shorefleck actually feels like a very appropriate name for this cat. She is 43 moons old, careful, an excellent speaker, formerly kitty pet. Aw, she joined the clan after fleeing from her cruel two-leg. Let's see if she comes with any mutations. She does not. She just had a cruel human. But she is a normal cat. So Drizzleshade finally feels back to normal after the strain of having her litter. Mysterberry thinks that they will have a small litter, and they decide to prepare the nursery for their kits that are soon to come. And we're just gonna go through here. Jumpstar's complaining that Soft Apple never does anything helpful. Feels a little mean. Drizzleshade is in awe of Jumpstar's leadership, so she really admires her leader for her ability to lead them through these rough times, as is Lotusshade. So Shorefleck and Soft Apple actually do have a compatible nature. She is a young adult, he is just an adult. So I'll go ahead and pair them for now. We really need to have more kits. And I'll focus on meeting them this moon. That worked out pretty well. Tumblekit knocks over Lotusshade. How is Tumblekit knocking around all these bigger cats? What's it got to do with her paws? Carnation Kit, however, is worried about Tumblekit, possibly due to her ability to be moving like she is. And Seabass Kit is regretting eating the bug that they caught. She's still sick with heat exhaustion. Poor little Scrap. So Drizzleshade and Driftburn spend the evening practicing. Drizzleshade takes charge and coordinates exercises. They practice mirroring one another until by the end of the afternoon they can almost act as one. And I do think we'll go ahead and leave it off there. We've had some losses and we've had some new additions, so it's been a very interesting episode. I hope that you're still enjoying the series. I certainly am. Honestly, we'll probably be getting into our first hint as to what is to come next episode, so stay tuned for that. I'm extremely nervous. So, until then, I will see you all next time. Stay safe, stay happy, and bye.